Hi there crafters, Louise with you today, sharing a new scrapbook layout for Kitaholic Kits featuring the August 2022 kit. I really do love that we've finally got a collection of these Vicky Bouton pastes. So I decided to grab all the colours that we've got in the last couple of kits and use this month's stencil to create a bit of a background. Now I wanted to go with a sort of a rainbow background, and originally, I kind of only wanted the X's in the middle, but you can't do the X's without avoiding the little triangles between the circles. So, sorry, not triangles, diamonds. This is really a complicated process, which is not initially how I had planned. I also am not a huge fan of mess. It's a real challenge for me getting something like this on a page because I struggle. It's either got to be super messy or it's got to be neat enough that I don't have that messy look. I can't have the half and half. And because the stencil does smudge some of the paste a little bit, I do end up with this half messy look that I don't actually really like. So what I'm doing here is just adding the pastes in sort of a colour pattern and blending them a little bit into the paste beside them. And I do like how the sort of principle should have looked, but it just did not come out the way I thought. And then looking back on it, I missed the gold colour and I went back to the sort of mauvey purple that I started with at the beginning. This whole layout was really just a schmozzle of epic proportions. And I got to this point and I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this now? So I decide to go with sort of a semicircle kind of cut, because that way I can get rid of some of the messy edges. I can cover up some of the areas that I don't actually like in terms of the way the paste looks. You can see down the bottom it looks quite neat, and then up the top it's really sort of messy. So I'm trying to cover that up to hide that sort of problematic part of the background. And to be fair, even though I started this layout with a certain type of outcome in mind, I'm actually not hating the way this worked out. So I chose a photo and just really had a bit of a play around. It was quite a process to get this particular layout to a point where I was happy with it. But in the end, I was pretty happy with the paste background, the way I'd cut it into that sort of circular, the way I'd covered up all the areas that I didn't really like so they get hidden and nobody will see them except for you guys watching this video. But basically, yeah, just making sure that, I'm happy with the little cluster that I've got going on here and how I've covered it up and how everything looks. Now, I did also toy with a bit of an idea to actually stitch around my sort of circle. I decide in the end that I'm not going to do that, and I leave it sort of quite basic. But yeah, this particular page definitely gave me some trouble, gave me a bit of a challenge. But I hope that you would pardon me, I hope that this is something that you guys would try, that you would actually have a go at using the paste. And even if you haven't got the paste from the mixed media kits, I'm sure you've got a stash of paste. You could do it with acrylic paints. This is the kind of technique that you could do for anything. Any sort of medium that you have in your stash. You could do it with watercolors if you've got watercolors. Now, I have a little trouble with white pens. I never seem to be able to get a white pen that will actually write for me. So I write my journaling and then oh, pardon me again. I write my journaling and I'm not happy with how it looks, so I end up going over it with silver. And this picture is the new edition. My 13-year-old kitten girl, she wasn't really a kitten, my 13-year-old girl cat passed away. So we adopted this lovely new little kitten. Her name is Squirell. And this layout is dedicated to her. So I hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe.